and they're just really easy to make from one simple dough. These are my soft and fluffy dinner rolls and my ultimate garlic tear and share. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is add some warm water to our dish. It's around 660 ml. And then we're going to add 2 sachets, 7-gram sachets, to our water. Don't forget, we're going to make one dough. And then we're just going to divide it by the 2 recipes. So we just need some olive oil and a pinch of sugar. The sugar isn't necessary. It's about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The sugar isn't necessary to make the yeast work. It just speeds up the process. So just a pinch of sugar. So you just want to give it a quick mix, and this should help the yeast to bloom pretty instantly, to be fair. You don't have to leave this mixture to go all bubbly. It will work instantly if you add the flour. I just like to let it rest for about 5 minutes just to see the yeast activating. Okay, I've left it about 5 minutes and I can see active movement in there, so the yeast is definitely okay. It should generally be okay if it's in those sachets anyway. So we're going to add our flour now, and we're going to go with, this is quite a big batch, so we're going to go with 850 grams of strong white plain flour. It's a bit too much. Okay. And then we just give it a mix. This is a no-knead recipe. A no-knead dough. Don't chuck your flour everywhere like I'm doing. So all you need to do is just give it a mix, and then we're just going to cover it, leave it for half an hour, do a couple of stretch and folds, do that a couple more times, and then just before we prove it fully, we're going to shape it and then leave it for an hour before baking. It sounds complicated, absolutely is not. So it looks kind of really shaggy and kind of sticky. As long as the flour is mixed in, if you just move it about, as long as that flour is completely mixed in, which it is, just get it all off from around the edges, stick it all into the middle. There we go. Don't leave any utensils in, and just cover it, and we'll see it in half an hour. We've let it rest for 30 minutes. So it's currently looking like this, less shaggy, and is starting to form more of a dough. And after we've done these stretch and folds, you'll see that it comes together really well. So we just need wet hands, and all we need to do is take it from the edge and pull it in. And we do about 6 to 8 of these stretch and folds. And that is literally it. Wet hands really do help. Here we go. You'll start to feel the dough kind of like become firmer as well as you do your stretch and folds. That's perfect. So that's literally it. It's a no-knead dough. We just do stretch and folds, and then we're just going to cover it up, leave it for another 30 minutes, and then come back to it and do the same. Okay, our bread dough has had another half an hour, and as you can see, it is nice and jiggly, and it has expanded really well. The temperature of your room massively changes how your dough will prove. So in the winter, for example, in this kitchen particularly, we probably have to double the proving time, and in the summer it halves it. So depending on the temperature in your house, depends on how long you want to prove your dough. You're looking for it to kind of double in size each time. So we're just going to wet our hands again and just do some more stretch and folds. Don't forget to use your water. As you do these stretch and folds, you can feel it really come back together, and you'll know when to stop, because it gets really difficult to kind of stretch it from the edge back into the center. So that's it. we're just going to leave it for another half an hour. Okay, so for the next step, all we need to do is tip our dough out onto a lightly floured surface. If you've got a scraper, these rubber ones are really flexible, really easy to work with. So you can just scrape it all out. And then we're going to divide it into two for our two separate recipes. Beautiful. Here we go, about there. Okay, that looks about right, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, this makes about 6 sandwich rolls for each side. So it's going to be about 12 buns. So one of them is going to be kind of like just family style hot buns that you can just add butter to, make into sandwiches, that type of thing. And this one is going to be a garlic tear and share dough. So what I'm doing is I'm just shaping it so that I can really evenly, you know, kind of work out portion sizes. If there's any massive air bubbles, there absolutely is going to be, because I've left it quite a while. Okay, so if you shape it into kind of like nice even shapes, then it just makes it easier to portion out. Okay. I'm just going to leave that one aside for now. So we're going to go into 6 on each, so it's 12 in total. So about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think they're looking pretty even, aren't they? Go down the centre again. Just keep rolling it in the flour, just so it doesn't stick. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so I've just grabbed this Pyrex dish. So the next thing that we need to do is shape our rolls. I'm just going to show you how to do that really easily. Just make sure you have a little bit of flour on the side. So you're going to grab some bread, and then I'm just going to show you how I do it underneath, but you just push the outside bits into the centre underneath and squeeze it all together, and it kind of gives you a nice shaped bread roll on the top. But you can just do it like this, and then that's what it looks like underneath. Squish it all together like a little dumpling, and you've got a beautiful bread roll, and then it goes in there. So you're just going to repeat that 12 times. Make sure your hands are well floured. This one's pretty sticky. Okay, 4, 8, 4, 8, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so we're going to do 3 rows of 3. My maths is not mathsing today. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to do 4 rows of 3. These just get one more proof and then they get baked, and that's it. Super simple, super easy. Let's just move those to the side so you can see what they're looking like. Perfect. Do you know what I missed out on? Oiling the bottom. I don't want them to stick. I don't think they're going to stick, but I just want to make sure that's the case. So I'm just going to get that base oiled because that'd be an absolute nightmare. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're very forgiving, these rolls. They don't need to be perfect, but they will taste incredible. Okay, so that's them rolls. They're just going to be our dinner rolls, do you call them? Like, they're just a smaller type roll to have on the side of a meal, or you can just make a small sandwich. So all that happens once we've shaped our dough, they just go off to the side for an hour to prove, and then they get baked. So that's those done. Let's do our garlic tear and share. I love to do this in like a round dish, so I'm just going to go find a dish. Okay, so for our garlic tear and share rolls, we just need to again shape it exactly the same, and then we're going to cut it into 12 pieces. Eyeball it. Just do it as evenly as possible, but it absolutely does not need to be perfect. Okay, 6, 6 and 6. Okay, perfect. I'm going to do this in a pan. These hex-clad pans are great for going in the oven. So I'm going to go in with this one. If you've got any kind of round oven dish, I do need to update what kind of dishes I've got, because I did have a really good one, but it was a charity shop find, and then it broke. Obviously it must have been quite an old dish. Right, so we're just going to rub it with oil so we have no stickage. And then we're going to add our rolls in again. Just, ooh, this is going to be hard maths, isn't it? Let me just work out. I think what I'll do is I'll do it in 4, and I'll just see. I obviously want it to look pretty, but I've not made it in this pan before, so I'm going to put one there, one there. One there. They are going to expand in size significantly with the next prove, and it's great because you can just literally pull them apart. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got 4 left the center, so 1, 2, 3, and 1 in the middle. Yes, okay, that's going to work, I think. Yeah. And then I'm going to put that one in the middle because that one looks tiny, and then these 3 are just going to go there. There's so not going to be enough room. Should I put 4 in the middle? Should I move these around so we have more room for another one on the outside? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Nine on the outside, 3 in the center. Oh, to clean up. Okay, so we've got 125 grams of melted butter there. You can do 100, you can do 150. We're going to go with 1 garlic clove, 2 if you like it extra garlicky. We have some parsley. We're just going to go about 10 grams of parsley. I do like quite a lot of fresh parsley when I'm making a homemade garlic butter. And my top tip for chopping up parsley is just squeeze it all nice and tight. Rocking motion. And then when you get to the end, cross chop. Bring it all in, go again. Doesn't need to be too fine, but you do want to get those bigger pieces chopped. That'll do. Straight into our garlic butter. Okay, just give it a mix. Now, if you don't have, if you feel like it's just not enough, this is plenty. But if you ever feel like your garlic butter isn't enough, just top it up with olive oil and it works beautifully. So all I'm gonna do now is just leave both of these aside and just leave them to rise for 1 additional hour covered. And then when we're ready to bake, we're just gonna pour our garlic butter onto this one. The bread rolls have had 45 minutes to an hour to prove again. They are more than big enough now. I'm happy with that proof. I don't want to over-proof them. If you over-proof your bread, then it will bake big and then it'll go flat. So that's just something that you need to be aware of. So all I'm going to do now is just coat my garlic tear and share rolls with my garlic butter. And then we're going to bake them in the oven at 200 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. We're going to have these garlic rolls with my favourite chicken and bacon pasta. Everybody's favourite chicken and bacon pasta. I'd just be careful of using a brush with these because you can press them down. So I just like to spread it out just like this. This was your salted butter as well. You can add a little bit more salt if you want to. I'm just going to drizzle these with some olive oil. Is that good look over your left shoulder? Yeah. Okay, 15 to 18 minutes in a 200 degree oven. These are the garlic tear and share rolls. So what you can do once they've baked is make a little bit extra of the garlic butter and brush it on once they're done, and then just leave them to cool a little bit before you dig in. But how good do these look? They smell incredible. Oh, it smells so good. Beautiful. Okay, gorgeous. Done. These are my cute, fluffy little dinner rolls.